guys and welcome to Nintenduary, a month where we review a different Nintendo 64 game every day for the entire month. Today we are looking at Superman for the Nintendo 64, or you might better know it as Superman 64. But let's get right to it. Honestly, we're not going to waste too much time on this game. It is awful. If you're looking for an experience that is tedious, clunky, unfun, and graphically challenged, maybe this game might be for you, but even then, we wouldn't recommend it. Let's start off with the plot. Lex Luthor has created a virtual version of Metropolis and manages to trap Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Professor Emil Hamilton within it. So far so good. That's probably the only cool sounding thing about the plot. Next, Superman enters the portal to the virtual world, where Luthor tells him that he must fly through his maze of rings scattered across the virtual metropolis. What? This is actually the least intimidating and evil thing Lex Luthor has done since stealing 40 cakes. But that was a different time, you know. Gooping cities and stealing cakes was evil. But this is the 90s and you let Superman waste his time with flying through rings? What? How in the hell is that gonna profit you? Also, they had the audacity to end this on a cliffhanger. Watch out for the maze of rings, Superman! It is incredibly difficult to even fly through these. I mean, this is the first level of the game and it's close to impossible. The worst part is that this game doesn't even give any real instructions, any tutorials or any hand-holding at all. Good luck and don't mess up. Or I guess you could read the instructions. But that's for nerds. Honestly, if you somehow have the mental will to get past the first levels like we did, you won't be getting a cool fresh experience. This entire game is based off 3 different playstyles. Fly through rings, which you do a lot in this game, some sort of special objective missions like escorting someone or saving someone from getting hit by a car, which you do by essentially killing the driver of the car, or a boss fight, which are way too easy and pretty pointless. And yes, the boss fights are the easiest part of this game. You got classic Superman villains like Parasite, Darkseid or Brainiac, and they're way too easy to beat. You just punch. That's it. Punch until you beat the boss. It is one button mashing at its finest. Mind you, this game came out in 1999. I mean, if it came out in 96, I maybe give it some more credit, as 3D was a new thing. But we already had games like Star Fox 64 that looked infinitely better, had tighter controls, and came out 2 full years before this game. I mean, there are power-ups like heat vision, I guess. But you have to find weird power tokens, and once you use all the power up, it's gone, completely gone. You'll have to find another token somewhere to charge up the ability again. It's just a completely pointless mechanic. It doesn't work well here, and this game is really just a waste of time. Hey, instead of wasting time flying through rings, you can waste time finding power-ups. On the bright side, if you want to ruin your friend's day, just invite them over, order some pizza, and make them feel comfortable, and then show them the multiplayer side of this game. There are 2 options, race mode and battle mode, and neither of them is fun. All you do in race mode is, you guessed it right, fly through more rings. And in battle mode you throw stuff at each other, but it's really hard to figure out how it even works. But hey, at least this game supports 4-player multiplayer, so you can lose all your friends in one swift motion. Just forget about Mario Kart or even Mario Party. You can play Superman 64 with all your 3 friends. So you might be wondering, how can a piece of crap like this even come out? Well, you know how video game developers are given less power over their own games nowadays? Superman 64 already did that in the 90s. Yes, DC Comics and Warner Brothers hindered the development immensely. The game even had to be delayed cause they took so long to make decisions about the game, and only 10% of the original design was implemented into the final product. And you can tell they knew how bad their game was. Just look at this commercial for Superman 64.
You are Superman. All the powers are yours. Flight, heat vision, super speed, super strength, freezing breath, and X-ray vision. Buy early and receive a DC Comics Collector's Edition.
Well, you noticed something? They didn't show flying through rings once, and this is almost all you do in the game. So it's no surprise to me they already tried to hide it in the commercial. Nonetheless, this game has a spiritual successor. Aquaman Battle for Atlantis, which released 4 years later, suffers from the same problems in gameplay, graphics, and fun. We can't recommend this game any less. Don't play it. Avoid it at all costs. Maybe you can buy it for your collection, but even then there's better shitty N64 games out there. So just avoid it. Unless you really hate yourself, in that case, give it a spin. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know in the comments down below what you think of Nintenduary so far. Tomorrow we're actually gonna cover a Nintendo 64 classic, and a way better flying game than this one. So come back tomorrow when Elijah is gonna review Star Fox 64. Until then, thanks for watching, guys.